Different systems of the body follow circadian rhythms that are synchronized with a master clock in the brain. This master clock is directly influenced by environmental cues, especially light, which is why circadian rhythms are tied to the cycle of day and night.
Funny how.
Come here, though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
You know, as healthy as I have tried to be my entire life, there's one thing I couldn't master, and that is the circadian rhythm. So if you don't know, we're not supposed to wake up right away, look at our phones, or watch TV. We're supposed to go outside immediately and try to beat the sun and try to enjoy that vitamin D right when we first wake up, so that way our body can kind of get in the rhythm, the circadian rhythm. And I'm going to go over that a little bit more in detail from experts that are much smarter than me. But, you know, I wanted to do this podcast because ever since I had a dog, some of you know Oliver, he's forced us to get up much earlier. And it's been kind of great, you know, where I would literally get up and sometimes beat the sun. And then by the time I get done either walking him outside or taking him for a run around the neighborhood, the sun would come out. And my day is always better when that happens, when I kind of get in that mode of getting up early, beating the sun, and maybe putting my feet in the grass when I first wake up. And, you know, that's my first interaction that I have, aside from obviously the wife. But that's my first interaction during the day. And it kind of gets me going throughout the day. It's pretty exciting. So I wanted to share this with you guys, and hopefully you can get some value out of it. This is actually from sleepfoundation.org. So you could check this out. I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to read the full article. But it says here, circadian rhythms are 24-hour cycles that are part of the body's internal clock running in the background to carry out essential functions and processes. One of the most important and well-known circadian rhythms is the sleep-wake cycle. Different systems of the body follow circadian rhythms that are synchronized with a master clock in the brain. This master clock is directly influenced by environmental cues, especially light, which is why circadian rhythms are tied to the cycle of day and night. When properly aligned, a circadian rhythm can promote consistent and restorative sleep. But when the circadian rhythm is thrown off, it can create significant sleeping problems, including insomnia. Research has also revealed that circadian rhythms play an intricate role in diverse aspects of physical and mental health. So how exactly does circadian rhythms work? Circadian rhythms work by helping to make sure that the body's processes are optimized at various points during a 24-hour period. The term circadian rhythm comes from the Latin phrase circadium, which means around a day. Circadian rhythms exist in all types of organisms. For example, they help flowers open and close at the right time of day and keeping nocturnal animals from leaving their shelter. That's interesting. We don't think about that stuff, but obviously we're not the ones that, we invented the word circadian rhythm. We invented all words. We didn't invent the actual internal clock that every organism follows. That's kind of crazy. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, because, flowers do, same thing with seasons, right? That's why we call it spring. Flowers spring during that time. They flourish, I would think. In people, however, circadian rhythms coordinate mental and physical systems throughout the body. The digestive system in particular produces proteins to match the typical timing of meals. The circadian rhythms throughout the body are connected to a master clock, sometimes referred to as the circadian pacemaker, located in the brain. Specifically, it is found at different times of the day. Clock genes in this part of the brain signals to regulate activity throughout the body. Now, this part of the brain, the suprachiasmatic, I believe I butchered that, also known as the SCN, is highly sensitive to light, which serves as a critical external cue that influences the signals sent by the SCN to coordinate internal clocks in the body. For this reason, circadian rhythms are closely connected to day and night. While other cues like exercise, social activity, and even temperature can affect the master clock, light is the most powerful influence on the circadian rhythm. And I think that's a big reason why we got to hit the ground running when we first wake up in the morning. And we got to get that sun as soon as we get up, not go straight to the phones. I know it's hard. There's a lot of cool shit out there, like, the podcasts and stuff that I do. But you can do that later. Focus on the sun first. Now, a lot of people ask here, is circadian rhythm the same as a biological clock? Well, biological clocks help regulate the timing of bodily processes, including the circadian rhythms. A circadian rhythm is an effect of a biological clock, but not all biological clocks are circadian. For instance, plants adjust to changing seasons using a biological clock with timing that is distinct from a 24-hour cycle. Now, how can circadian rhythm affect sleep? Now, this is me in particular because I am a massive insomniac. I have a problem for sure, but I'm working on it. Like most of you out there, you might be able to get like a cool mattress or a fun pillow that supposedly helps with sleep, but sometimes it's just not enough. Sometimes we got to figure out other ways, and sometimes there's easy things we could do, like learn about circadian rhythm that could help us sleep. And the better sleep you have, the better your day is going to be. And, overall, you're going to have a healthier and happier life. So how exactly does your circadian rhythm affect sleep? Well, when people talk about circadian rhythm, it's most often in the context of sleep. The sleep-wake cycle, as it's known, is one of the most clear and critical examples of the importance of circadian rhythms. During the day, light exposure causes this master clock to send signals that generate alertness and can help keep us awake and active. As night falls, the master clock initiates the production of melatonin, a hormone that promotes sleep, and then keeps transmitting signals that help us sleep throughout the night. In this way, our circadian rhythm aligns our sleep and wakefulness with day and night to create a stable cycle of restorative rest that enables increased daytime activity. So essentially, your circadian rhythm allows us to not only produce melatonin, right, which a lot of people know you could take over the counter, or you could just do things like this and get natural melatonin because our body produces it. You don't need extra melatonin. You just got to, do the right things to make sure your body's producing it, right? But what I found interesting about this is if you don't get the right amount of sleep and if your body is off whack, that's where it says here is able to create a stable cycle so that way we can be active throughout the day. And, this goes back hundreds and thousands of years to where, we didn't have artificial light bulbs. The light bulb wasn't invented 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years. So what did they do? Well, they had to get up from the sun and they had to go to bed during the day. So this is an evolutionary thing. Now you're like, it's not that big of a deal. What happens when the circadian rhythm is off? It's a great question. I'm going to tell you. When the circadian rhythm is thrown off, it means that the body's system don't function optimally. A disturbed sleep-wake circadian rhythm can give rise to serious sleep problems. Without the proper signaling from the body's internal clock, a person can struggle to fall asleep, maybe wake up during the night, or be unable to sleep as long as they want in the morning. Their total sleep can be reduced, and a disturbed circadian rhythm can also mean shallower, fragmented, and lower quality sleep. They make it sound terrifying, and it is. Sleep's very important. Now, I'm not going to read through all these points, but you could check this out. I'll leave the link in the description, but there's a really cool list of things that can disrupt the circadian rhythm. So disruptions to the circadian rhythm can actually occur over short or long periods of time. Experts have actually identified a number of types of circadian rhythm sleep-wake disorders based on their characteristics and causes. Jet lag is one reason. We've all been there. Jet lag sucks. Shift work. So the type of shifts that you take, I would imagine, if you have a night shift, your circadian rhythm is going to be thrown off, but eventually you'll get used to it, I would imagine. There's something called advanced sleep phase disorder, also something called delayed sleep phase disorder. Something else that could throw it off is non-24-hour sleep-wake disorder, and then, of course, all-night bingers. And then another one is irregular sleep-wake rhythm disorder. And this one in particular, I can actually relate with. I don't know if I have it. I got to get checked, but I feel like this is it. People with this rare disorder have no consistent pattern to their sleep and may have many naps or short sleeping periods throughout a 24-hour day. It is frequently connected to conditions that affect the brain, such as dementia or traumatic brain injury. Okay, I definitely don't have that, but I do find myself kind of like occasionally like dozing off just randomly throughout the day. And there's this thing, the last one is irregular sleep-wake rhythm disorder. So these are interesting. I recommend you check all these out because you can actually go through each one. Maybe you have one of these. I don't know. I mean, obviously get with an expert, but these are very interesting. The last thing I'll leave you with is how to maintain a healthy circadian rhythm. Number 1, seek out sun. Number 2, follow a consistent sleep schedule. Number 3, get daily exercise. Number 4, avoid caffeine. Ooh, that's a hard one. But stimulants like caffeine can keep you awake and throw you off your natural balance between sleep and wakefulness. Number 4, limit light before bed. Number 5. Okay, well, that is all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in to the Barodo Podcast. I am your host, Tony Barodo, and until next week, we will see you later. You guys stay healthy out there. Peace. Oh, hey there. First of all, thanks for making it to the end of this video. Not a lot of people do, according to the YouTube analytics, but I do want to say thanks for listening to this. There's some more episodes if you want to check those out, and they're all just as good. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out those timestamps below to reference some of the topics I talked about, as well as some discount links to some of our sponsors and affiliates. But thanks for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time.